What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the show. No, I'm just playing. Not yet. But today, I want to tell a story. Let it begin.
And as I sit down, relax, my mind relapse and recaps about all the pain I had way back. Man, I just hate that. Oh, you got a dream, don't chase that. You won't make that happen. Go to school, quit this rapping. That's what my mind tell me. It weigh on me heavy like you are not ready. And who can I trust? Everyone left me. I keep an eye open like Fetty. My conscience is hot in my dreams like Freddy. I fight with my body, don't think it is healthy. I wanna trade dreams, but my legs won't let me. And God on my side, the devil still test me. Man, I hate these things. I probably don't sleep cause I'm scared to drink. And as I lay down, I look at this ceiling. I write away all of my feelings. My mind is a weapon that I am concealing. Banana clips, man, they just so
boom, boom, ba, ba. So I did it. Boom. I left Colorado, moved to Cali on my own, out here, just ready for whatever.
And it was good, everything was good, everything was good, it was good, it was good. After that,
like a burden, you know what I mean? I was just there, and it was good at first, and it was, you know, good and cool, and then slowly things started to change. Just little things too. It wasn't even big situations or big issues. It was little things, to leaving things in the bathroom, to leaving the door unlocked, coming home late, not, you know, little stuff. My room was dirty, like just little petty things, you know what I mean? It was like, okay, whatever, you know. And it just started getting worse and worse over time. It got to the point where I just heard my name for everything. Antonio this, Antonio that, Antonio this, Antonio that. So I was like, okay, you know, obviously I'm the problem. Let me just, I mean, it was spoken before too. They were like, well, we're gonna have to speak to you about, you know, you living somewhere else. And I was like, okay, so obviously it's coming to the point where I'm getting kicked out. It is what it is. And I saved about, I think I had like 500. I was paying rent. Rent was about 500, and I didn't have a stable job. It was just little jobs, plumbing, construction. What else was I doing? With contractors, just a bunch of little jobs, trying to rack up money. And it was kind of rough when I had to start paying all these things, but I managed, and I got through. And I was paying everything that I needed to, but I had $500 saved. That was for the next month's rent. All I kept hearing was my name, every little thing, and I was like, man, I'm done with this. I can't, you know, obviously my presence isn't wanted here. I'm not gonna be somewhere where I feel unwanted. So that's what I did. I packed my things and I left. Okay, but with that money, I had 500. I was working. I got paid this last job, and I ended up having $1,000. That was it. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have anywhere to stay out here. I was like, obviously I'm getting kicked out soon. I was like, so let's think. So what I did is I bought a car, $1,000. I bought a car, and I was like, okay, if anything happens, I'll sleep in my car. You know what I mean? I'll wake up, I'll go to the gym, I'll do what I gotta do, and I kind of planned it out, and it, you know what I mean? And that's what it came down to. The day I left, I packed all my stuff. I didn't tell nobody anything. I was just like, okay, look, I'm tired of hearing my name. Obviously, I'm a problem. My presence here is not wanted. So I just packed my things and I left. And it really sucked. I wasn't like bottom of the bottom homeless like you would see these people in the street sleeping under trees and in the parks. Like I didn't get to that level, and I thank God for that. But it was coming to that. If I didn't buy this car, I would have been there. I was sleeping in my car. Man, like it just taught me so much, so much. Another day, another dollar. You feel me? So the first night was the hardest, just because when you go to sleep, you could usually sleep comfortably in a bed knowing that you're safe. But when you're in the car, you don't know who's around you, and especially when you're in somewhere you're not from. Like I'm not from here, so I don't know I really don't know this area is really good at all. So, you know, there's a lot of you know, there's a lot of different little gangs and, you know, a lot of crackheads. And so I was just real paranoid. I couldn't really sleep the first night. I just kept kind of like looking around, because I kept hearing things. I got the window down. I'm trying to get some air. It was really rough the first night. But just as everything gets easier. I remember the first night I tried sleeping like as I'm sitting, like right here. And with my seat down though, all the way down. so uncomfortable. Like it was rough. And then after that I was like, okay, I put all the seats up and I jumped in the back seat, and the back seat was a lot comfortable. I used to just park different spots, but it was hard because you can't park in the same spot every night, so you have to find somewhere different. But I did find a certain spot that was my favorite, and the reason it was my favorite is because I don't have tinted windows, as you can see. But when I parked there was a big like bush / tree that I would park next to, and it would cover my passenger window and my back seat window. So those two windows were, you know, hidden. So I would lay my head where it's hidden, and then I'd have this window open where I could kind of see. And it just sucked because, like, I tried planning it out, like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but it's just so much harder when you're actually doing it. Like, it's a lot.
It's really rough. It's really rough.
Like, I mean, it's kind of easier said than done. Because I used to be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna shower there, I'm gonna brush my teeth there, which I did. But it was just a lot. It was just so hard. Like, I didn't think. Like, I thought, like, okay, I'll sleep in my car, I'll bathe, shower myself at the gym, go to work, go to school, and then keep doing that over. And I kind of forgot. I didn't think about food. And then when I started doing it, I was starving, and not because like I'm starving myself, but because I didn't have food, and it was really rough. But I thank God for like my girlfriend at the time. I didn't even tell her. The crazy thing is I didn't tell nobody. Like, nobody knew I was sleeping in my car. Not my mom, my girlfriend, any friends. Like, I was just there, and like that's when it hit you really hard. Is you just feel so lonely. Like, the loneliness hit me. Like, dang, like I'm really out here by myself, just struggling. Like, cause I struggled a lot with my family when we were younger, and we went through a lot, but we're all together, so it kind of kept us, our heads held high, and kind of kept us staying strong and staying focused. But when it's just you, man, it hits you pretty deep. Like, I was just sitting in the car just like stressed out because I would get home late. I mean, like 10 o'clock, not too late, but I mean, you don't want to come out too early either because there's people walking around, walking the dogs, a lot of traffic. You just can't go to sleep that early. So like 10 to 12 is when you go to sleep. And then you wake up at like 5 or 6 when the sun comes out because it's too bright. And then again, people are up going to work, and you don't want to be known sleeping in your car in a certain area because then people start calling the police on you, and like you just get kicked out of that area. So I try staying really low key as possible. So it sucked because I'd have to go to sleep late and wake up really early. When I'd wake up, you know, it just kind of teaches you, and you start to understand like the simple things that we do in the morning we kind of take for granted. Like, I can't just wake up and go to the restroom. I can't just wake up and brush my teeth. I mean, I could, but it's just different. I'm not in a bathroom. I wake up and I got a little bit of toothpaste on a toothbrush, I'm brushing my teeth, and then I'm gargling water, brushing it out. You know, I'm half asleep trying to drive to the gym just to use the restroom, and then to shower afterwards and just get cleaned up. But it's just so much, it's such a hassle just to do these basic things that we do every morning. Like, it's such a hassle. And then after you do that, then I would go to school. I would go to school for a little bit, and I would charge my phone in school because my phone would be dead. So I charge it in school, and after school I would try finding work, but at the time I couldn't really find no work. Like, I couldn't get a stable job because no one was hiring me. And then the little jobs I did have were just side jobs, and I couldn't consistently work. So it was just little jobs, little jobs, little jobs. I'm thankful for my girlfriend though at the time because like I said, I was not eating, but I go to her house and she didn't know anything. She thought I was still staying where I was staying at. She thought everything was normal, but I was just struggling, man. And I would go to her house and eat, and it's kind of funny because I went to her house, and she was just joking around, but she's like, dang, babe, all you do is come to my house to eat. And I just started laughing because I was like, girl, you don't even know. Like, I am coming to your house just to eat because I don't eat.
You disappoint me. You only come to my house to
What'd you say?
food. You only come to my house to eat wings.
But it was just a lot, man. It was a lot going on. The situation was real hard. It was real rough. Like I said, the first night was the hardest, but after that you kind of adapt to it. But I remember even then it's still rough because every day as it got closer to nightfall, I would like kind of get sad, like, dang, like, you know, another night in the car. Like, I was not looking forward to it. So like it just sucked, you know what I mean? And then it was just really rough. But I mean, it is what it is. I thank God for getting me out, and it's even speaking about it now, like, just reminiscing just brings so much agony. Like, it was just so rough, bro. Like, the thing that sucked is just the feeling of not having somewhere stable, bro. Like, and even every morning when I would wake up, bro, like my body just aches because like it's just so uncomfortable. Every night is uncomfortable. Every time I go to sleep, I'm uncomfortable. Every time I wake up, I'm uncomfortable. Even during my sleep, I'm uncomfortable because I don't know where my surroundings are. You know what I mean? And I'm living off the trunk, bro. Like I have all my stuff in the trunk, and the trunk's just full of all my things, but it's just a struggle, bro. Like, it's just a struggle, and it just sucks, bro. Like, it brings so much agony, bro. Like, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it was real rough, man. It's hard to get through stuff like that. And the thing is, too, is like, I was all by myself, so I was trying to get close to God. Like, I was trying to pray to God, but I felt so far from him. But even though I felt so far from him, he was still there and he was still listening, because I told God, like, please, Lord, help me. Like, I don't know how to help myself. Like, I need help. I cried out to God, like, help me, Lord, because I can't do it by myself. And for some reason, bro, I just couldn't talk about it. I couldn't express to people, and I just couldn't tell someone, like, yeah, I've been sleeping in my car, you know, I need some help. I just couldn't get those words out. I really couldn't. I couldn't tell my girl. I couldn't tell my moms. Like, I just couldn't get those words out of my mouth just for the life of me. I don't know why. I just couldn't do it. That's why I prayed about it, and I prayed, and it's so powerful because I was at my girl's house. I was still sleeping in the car. Oh, shoot. All right, we are back. I apologize. The camera fell. As I was saying, though, it was powerful. I prayed about it. I was at my girl's house, and I was still sleeping in the car every night. No one knows nothing, bro. Like, everything's kind of nonchalant. I mean, my girl, she kind of knew something was up, but she didn't know exactly what, because even when the night came, like, we were talking all night. Usually we would talk all night, either on the phone, texting, whatever. But when I was sleeping in the car, like, I would just be like, all right, babe, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And like, I do that a lot. And she started noticing, but she was just like, okay, you know, whatever. Okay, you know, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And then, but I used to do that a lot, and like, I was just always kind of like down, and she kind of noticed too. Like, she was there for me. She did come for me a lot, and she, you know what I mean, I wouldn't be where I am without her. So I'm very thankful for her, you know, shout out to my baby. But I was at her house, and her mom, out of nowhere, asked her, where has Antonio been staying at? And like, I think it was on the phone, or she asked her in person, and then my girl told me later, because we're in the car, and she asked me, she's like, my mom wants to know where you've been staying. And I was like it hit me, like, I kind of stood quiet, and I was like what? And then she's like, my mom wants to know where you've been staying. And I'm like, why would she ask that? And she's like, I don't know. She just asked me to ask. Like, she just wants to, like, she just asked out of nowhere. And like, I low-key just felt like God was listening to my cries. Like I didn't even know what to say. I felt speechless, because the only person that I asked for help was God. And because he knew, like I said, like, I just couldn't get those words out of me. I could not express, like, I need help. I just couldn't say it. I really couldn't. Like, I just didn't know how. But God knew that, and God did it for me. And it was so powerful, man. She asked me, and I mean, when she asked me, I could tell her. It was like, you know, it was a different story now. I couldn't just say it out of the blue, like, yeah, I've been sleeping in the car. But when she asked me where I've been sleeping at, I could tell her. So I told her, I said, you know, I got kicked out, and I've been sleeping in the car. And, you know, my girl was sad, and, you know, like, I was sad too. Like, I even teared up, because it was just, it's so hard, bro. Like, it was just so much pain, like, even not just physically, like, just feeling uncomfortable, but just emotionally, bro. Like, I felt so like, hopeless. Like, I literally looked at the men, like, the homeless people on the street, and I'm like, dang, like, that's where I'm about to end up. Like, that's how I felt, bro. And like that's why it's just, it's crazy. And I thank God for getting me out of that situation, because I mean, he asked me where I've been staying, and my girlfriend's mom asked me where I've been staying, and, you know, I told him, like, I've been in the car, and I told him everything. And then obviously they brought me into their home, and so I'm thankful for them for doing that also. And then I've been staying with them. But like, if it wasn't for that, bro, like, I'd be in the street still. And it's just so powerful, because I did not tell nobody. Like, I couldn't tell nobody. I think I told my friend and back in Colorado, because he hit my phone when I was at the gym. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, about to shower. And he's like, why are you showering at the gym? And I told him everything. But like I didn't tell my girl, which I tell like everything to. I didn't tell my moms, which I also tell almost everything to. Like the important people in my life, I did not say anything to them. The only thing I prayed about it, and I told God, and out of nowhere, like just a random blue question she just asked. It's crazy, man. Like, man, God is so good, bro. Like, I wanted to cry just hearing that, because like I just felt so relieved. God heard my cries, man, and he's like God is so good, man. God is so good. And he got me out, man. He's just like, he's helping. Things are getting better. I mean, that's, you just got to trust in God. And like I learned that. And it's crazy because, like I said, I felt so distant from him. Like, I usually feel close and connected with God, but for some reason when I was in the car, I just felt distant. Like, I was trying to cry out to him, but I just felt like I was alone. But God showed me that I wasn't alone, because he heard my cries and he provided. And I'm just so thankful, man. And it's so powerful, because I asked like my girl's mom, like, what made her ask that, and she just said she felt it in her heart. Like, she literally felt in her heart to ask where I've been staying. And that's what I've been praying about. So you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. But it taught me a lot, man. Like, it taught me a lot. Like, I kind of understand where homeless people stand in certain situations. Like, obviously people like to judge them, like, oh, they're just gonna go buy liquor and drink it away anyway, so I'm like, why am I gonna give them money? I mean, a lot of them do that, because it's just like, now that I kind of, I mean, like I said, I wasn't at the bottom of the bottom homeless, but I was sleeping in the car, struggling. And I can tell you, bro, it's so much easier to just quit and not care about anything than to actually strive and try to be something, or try to get out of your struggle, or try to make it out. Like, it's hard to do that, and it's a struggle, versus not caring and just drinking your life away. Like, there's so much times I just wanted to give up, bro. Like, I literally just wanted to not care anymore. Just give up and just quit trying. Like, even just simple things like, where am I going to sleep tonight? You know what I mean? You would come to mind. And it got to a point, like, even when I was sleeping in the car, bro, like, the first few nights, like, I was sleeping not good, because I was so paranoid of people trying to, like, you know, run up on me, like homeless people, crackheads. Like, I was so paranoid about that. But it got to the point where I was so tired that I told myself, you know what, I don't even care anymore. And I just passed out and I went to sleep. And it's the same thing with homelessness. Like, you're just so lost and you're so low that you don't care anymore about anything. So you'd rather sleep literally on the sidewalk with a bottle in your hand, because it's just so easier to do that than to think of somewhere that you might be able to sleep, or think of somewhere you might be able to bathe yourself the next day, or use the restroom. It's complicated, but it gave me a better understanding on where these people stand. And it's crazy, man. It's a journey. It's definitely a journey. But you know, like I said, I thank God for getting me out. I mean, I don't know where I'd be without him. I'm so thankful for that. And I mean, this is my story. You know what I mean? 19, sleeping in a car. I really hope that you know, maybe this could help somebody that may be going through similar situations, that could get you out. I mean, just trust in God. I mean, even when you feel so far away, just know he's there. I mean, I'm living proof of it. Like I said, like, I felt so distant from God, so distant, but he showed me that he was there. And that's powerful, man. Just don't give up. Anybody out there who's going through the same thing. I mean, I'm hoping I could get more videos going out. Hopefully start up this YouTube a little more. So, I mean, if you guys finish this video all the way to the end, you know what I mean? I'm thankful for you guys just listening and hearing me out. And I ask that you guys just hit that subscribe button, and, you know, glory to God, man. We out here, man. Shout out.